All right, so this morning, trigonometry, polar form of complex numbers. So I'm going to show you guys real quickly how to change your calculator. So I'm going to pull this up right now. I have my calculator here, document, settings.
Hold on.
I've already changed everyone's. I already sent it out. I'm just showing you guys. So document settings, and now for this one right here, real or complex, we have complex. So real, but now we're doing polar. Okay?
Does polar mean document setting?
Polar mean what?
Complex.
Polar is a type of complex that has imaginary numbers. There we go. That's all you need. Okay. Like I said, I already changed everyone's. Everyone should already be there. All right. Now, so right here, we're going to graph this. So now, the x value is now my real axis. The y value is my imaginary axis. So going in the imaginary direction would be the y direction. Going in the real direction is my x. Okay? So let's see. So, where's this one right here? So this one is, from there, it's going to be, had to mess it up. 2 minus 3i. So that's 2 in the real direction, so that's 2 to the right. Minus 3i is the y direction now, right? So it's down 3. So it puts us at this spot right here.
So it's not a pair? It's not two commas?
No, it's not a comma. That's why it's polar. It's directional. It's kind of like a vector. Remember when we did vector previously, and it wasn't on the test, and I said, hey, you need this for later on? It's the same stuff. Okay?
I do not remember that.
So, if I'm adding these things together right here, I add my real component. The real number is 4 and 1, which gives me 5. The imaginary is 1i and 3i, which is 4i. So that means that together, if I'm adding that one and that one, if I add those two together, so that one and that one, I put them both together to be here.
So you're basically combining them to
So-
like one line?
So now, think of it like this. You're taking your dogs for a walk. Okay? You have 2 dogs. Okay? Let's say that, you know, I am some very skinny little girl. I have this big dog over here on this one leash. Okay? And I have this little dog Fifi over here on this other leash. Okay? So, basically, I'm going to, the dogs are going to pull me where they're going to go. They're going to tell me where to go, basically. So which one is going to be the dominant? Which one's going to get their way?
Big dog.
The big dog. But Fifi, the little dog, is still going to try and pull it this way a little bit. So together, they're actually going in some direction. So you have the big dog pulling this way, little dog pulling this way, and so together it's still more towards what the big dog is pushing, right? So you have your 2 dogs together, and you're still going to end up like this. You're somewhere in the middle.
Get a name.
Huh?
Why did the little dog get the name?
His name is Bruce. Okay, Bruce. He's a bull mastiff. Okay, and then we have Fifi.
What is Fifi?
Fifi is a cockapoodle.
No, a little Yorkie.
Okay, so it's a what was a cockapoo? Yeah, cockapoo. There we go. So anyway, so the big dog. So eventually, when you're done, you're just going to set the dog, the little dog, on the big dog, and so you can have a dog riding the other dog, and it's going to blow up the internet, right? Okay. So either way, when you have those 2 on the leash, you're going to go somewhere in between. All right. So let's do this one. Find the sum of these 2 right here. What is my real number going to be? Real.
Positive 2.
Positive 2, right?
I was right. It's 600.
What is my imaginary number going to be?
-5.
-5, because I have here and here.
2 minus 5i.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now, let's graph the 2. So, again, with my leash thing. So I have one dog, 6. So let's to the right. Right 6 and down 2. So it's going from here to here.
Are we gonna have to graph them?
Yes.
Yeah.
See right here where it says graph?
No, I know, but like on the homework.
Yes.
Wait, are we provided graphs, or do we have to draw them?
Would you like for me to provide you some graphs?
Yes.
Okay, I probably will.
Okay, thank you.
Just-
I'm not trying to draw all those little.
Oh, okay, yes. I do have some somewhere. I don't know what's that though. Anyway, alright, back to what I was doing. Okay, and then this one over here, we're graphing this piece right here. So it's -4, that's 4 to the left, 4 to the left, and down 3. 4 to the left, down 1, 2, 3, right here. So I have my 2 dogs on leashes, right? 2 dogs on leashes. They're both going different directions, right? So you're going to end up somewhere in between those 2, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. So somewhere in between those 2 is where I'm going to end up at. So this is how I ended up there. So this is where I'm ending up at. So it's 2 to the right, 2 to the right, and down 5. To the right, down 5, right here.
Will it ever like go the opposite way?
Nope. Because now think about it again. Dogs on a leash, right? You have 2 dogs pulling. They're both going somewhere. So like you're at the park. They're both, one wants to sniff this tree, the other one wants to sniff that bush. Okay? And so eventually you're going to be somewhere in between, right? So you're still going forward, but somewhere in between those 2 is where you're going to end up at. And that's what it's going to be. Make sense now?
Yeah.
Okay. So is my dog analogy working on that one?
Oh.
Okay, so,
Go back to the reach.
alright, this is actually very easy. Yeah. The reason why I say it's easy because it's stuff we've already done already. R, radius, right? Yes? Okay, how did we get that? Pythagorean theorem, didn't we? Yeah, so I have my x squared plus y squared, right? And to get r, it was the square root of both sides, right? And r is always going to be a positive number, right?
Yes.
So that's what we did. So we've done this piece so many times since the very beginning in chapter 1. Now, to get my direction for my x, it's going to be, x is going to be equal to whatever my radius is times cosine of theta. Now, remember, cosine is the real value, right? And sine is the imaginary value, right? So it's going to be my imaginary portion here. So that's where I'm going to do this. And we did this one recently when we actually had it previously. To do this right here, what would I do to try to get my tan by itself? How do I get that angle? Say it. Inverse. So basically theta is equal to inverse tan of y over x. So if you have this on your notes, it's going to be very helpful because I'm going to ask you this again later. So I'm hoping everyone's paying attention, not playing PUBG right now.
It's barely Fortnite.
Anyway.
Wait. I'm trying to. Shut up.
Okay. Now, listen. Okay. These right here, trigonometric form or polar form. It has to be like this. So what happens to the r value? It's on the outside, right?
Yeah.
It's on the outside. And then my cosine, so that's whatever this is going to be, plus I sine. So I times the sine. I times whatever my y direction is. Okay? It's also referred to cosine I sine is CIS. CIS theta. You'll see it all the time, CIS theta. And in this form, it's R CIS theta. It's cosine I sine. Cosine I sine. Cosine I sine. Something like that. So, okay, so now, I forgot to delete it. I don't know, it's for somewhere. Anyway, take out your unit circle or your reference sheet, please. Ah! Oh my God. Hey, be glad I'm not one of those people that makes you memorize this stupid thing. Probably should. I know, right? Okay. Class.
Yes.
I know everyone's paying attention, not on their phone right now.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay. Cosine 300 is what?
Cosine 1/2.
Plus I. Now, what is sine 300?
Negative square root of 3 over 2.
Okay, so it's almost in rectangular form. A plus bi is rectangular form.
Okay, wait. Oh, you just have the unit circle.
Yeah, I just took these from the unit circle. Now, what am I going to do with this 2 on the outside? Distribute it. FOIL means factor. Distributing, no, it's going in, not taking out. So,
So I have to go to the I.
right here, so what's going to happen here?
1
1.
over 4.
Okay, so now as I distribute here, what's going to happen to my 2's? Cancel, so you're going to be left with what?
Negative rad.
Negative rad 3, but I still got that I, right? So it's going to be minus I rad 3.
And then do we still graph it?
Why isn't it plus like 2I? I don't know.
Okay, what happened to the 2 right here? I'm multiplying by 2 and I'm dividing by 2. The 2's cancel here. Those 2's cancel,
Why
right?
don't you distribute the 2 to the I?
I did. This is still multiplying here, but it's all part of the same thing. So if I put all that together, it's going to be 2I, negative 2I, rad 3 over 2. All this is multiplying together here, right? And then my 2's canceled, so I came up with just negative I rad 3 here. Yes? Alright, so I'm going to stop the video right here. I want you guys to take a look at your example from your homework real quick.